back to my channel. I'm back, and as promised, it didn't take me like 2 years to come back and film this video. Today I'd like to talk about something which I feel like has been plaguing the K-pop community for the last few months, and it's a very sensitive topic as well. But today I'd like to talk about the boycott on hybe, or the hybe boycott, which is basically boycotting hybe because of people such as Scooter Braun, who are Zionist. So these people hold views which is that like Israel is a country and that Palestine should be under Israel's rule. Basically, it doesn't recognize Palestine as a country or as a free state. So yeah, it's a very complex situation. Well, it's not complex, honestly. It's clearly a genocide happening, an ethnic cleansing happening in Palestine. Tens of thousands of people are being killed. It's genuinely sad and horrible to see what's going on in Palestine, and it's been heartbreaking to just like not be able to do much other than share petitions and links and be like, oh, donate. Like it's really hard. This is where we talk about the K-pop aspect. Let's dive into how K-pop fans have been reacting when you've asked them to boycott hybe and its artists, all the artists under hybe, which is like BTS, 17, and hybe, TXT, who else is under there? Les Seraphim, the New Jeans. We have all these groups who are under hybe, who are like a part of this boycott, because it's like if you support hybe, you're putting money into the pockets of a Zionist, which is Scooter Braun. Like, he's just like an icky person. Even if he wasn't a Zionist, guys, he's a really icky person. If you know him, you would know that owns the masters of a lot of like people. Like, he's the reason Taylor Swift had to go out there and like re-record all of her songs. Like, he's the reason that a Taylor's version even exists, because like he wouldn't give her the rights to. There was like this big battle about how he wouldn't sell her masters to her music, and so she went out there and recorded all of her own stuff again. He's just really icky as a person. I'm pretty sure he supported like Dr. Luke, who sexually assaulted Kesha, like all that stuff. Like, he's just not a good person from outside of being a Zionist. So him joining hybe was never like an ideal situation. And also recently he quit doing artist management so he could focus on hybe America full-time as the CEO there. So people have an issue with him because they're worried that like the way he sees things and that his viewpoints will spread over to the idols under hybe, not just hybe America, like who's under hybe America, like, but will spread over to the other sections of hybe. I think K-pop fans react very poorly whenever you tell them to boycott things. Like, if you tell them to boycott because like a member is on hiatus, they struggle doing that because they're like, oh, it impacts the other members. Like, K-pop fans have this very like collective individualism. They decide as a group that they want to be selfish. They collectively decide like in a big group that they want to be like selfish people. That's basically what I'm gonna say. Mind you, idols, a lot of idols that you're told to boycott whenever a situation happens, these idols usually have money and security and will be fine if a boycott happens, because like take BTS for example. If you boycott BTS, I promise you they will be fine, because as we've seen, BTS is highly successful, has made a ton of money over years, has had a bunch of collaborations with so many different brands, like Louis Vuitton for example. They've collabed with them, walked in the Louis Vuitton fashion show. Like, so BTS isn't hurting for money if you boycott them, especially if you're doing it for a good cause, such as boycotting them because you were against Zionism. So it's been really bothering me. I've been on a little break from Twitter for the past week, but just before I took my break, it was really bothering me how K-pop fans, like, it took a lot, not even just like armies, like a bunch of idol fandoms, like just it took so long for them to be like, oh, okay, we agree to boycott. And even then, some people are still not boycotting. I still see people creating goals for albums, buying tickets. Like, a boycott means a complete standstill of anything the artist is putting out, whether it's merch, whether it's tickets, whether it's albums. And these people are like struggling so bad to like stop buying things for the greater good. It's just like when you boycott other things, like they're like, well, what does this have to do with the artist? Like, what does this have to do with the people I stan? I've always said this in my take videos, but this situation is so much bigger than K-pop. Like, you see people being slaughtered by the thousands and you are struggling to stop buying a K-pop album. Thing is, you can still listen to the music. People are just being asked to pirate the music. I see people be told to unstan. I see people being called fake fans, haters, antis. It's really to the levels where people are putting K-pop over their morals, but it's to a disgusting amount. I get it. People put K-pop over morals all the time, and like those things aren't insignificant, but like when you see something as big as an issue as what's going on with Palestine and you still can't bring yourself to boycott, at that point I have to look at you as a person and think like you're just a bad person at that point if you can't stop boycotting for a cause like that. Like, no one's being asked to unstand any of these groups. They're just being asked to stop putting their money in the pockets of people who are supporting the murder of children. There's been some efforts where they've sent trucks telling Hybe to like fire Scooter Braun. Like, people just want to see him removed from the position, basically. I don't even know if I'm saying this man's last name right, but I couldn't care less. There's been like petitions, there's been trucks sent to outside of Hybe. And my thing is, we know idols have been pretty silent on the situation, but we've seen evidence of some idols like who are supportive. Like SM is like one of the strictest companies ever, and even some of the SM idols have spoken out on this. Suho from EXO shared a donation link so that like meals are being sent to children in Palestine in connection with UNICEF, I believe. I'm pretty sure Taeyang from NCT posted a story and deleted it, but it's like it speaks volumes when you see idols from SM putting their necks out to do, like, even if it's like the bare minimum, to do something compared to like how hype groups are moving, where like you saw Yujin from Les Seraphim, Yunjin, you saw her drinking Starbucks and people were like, girlie, what? Because like, yes, Starbucks doesn't directly donate to Israel, but they put out a statement of neutrality. They, first of all, they spoke out against a union that directly supported Palestine, and then they put out a statement of neutrality on the issue. And it's like, how can you be neutral when tens of thousands of Palestinians are being killed like every day? I think that was the main issue with Starbucks, other than the fact that Starbucks just has never been an ethical company anyway, so it's very easy to stop drinking and eating Starbucks for me. I haven't had it in months. I feel like I'll wrap this up a bit, you know, it's getting long. I don't want to sit on my soapbox too long, but it's just been very disappointing to me to see how people can't take a step back from K-pop for something like as serious as you see babies being murdered. Like, it's insane what's going on in Palestine, and you can't find it in yourself to stop buying albums and to speak out on something. Like, you have the privilege of living in a country that's not being bombed every day. You have plenty of food. Like, most of us have that privilege. Regardless of your financial situation, you have the privilege of at least being safe in your home for the most part. For most of us, the majority of us are safe in our homes, and we don't have to worry about being bombed when we wake up or in our sleep and losing our families, whole bloodlines being wiped out. It's very hard for me to look at the privilege that we have, where the least you can do is stop buying an album, pirate the music if you want to listen to it. You're struggling to do that and like calling out people and making everyone feel bad. Like, I'm sorry, you can never make me feel bad. You call me auntie and tell me to understand, I won't feel bad, because I know at the end of the day, my conscience, it's clear, you know? Like, I know what I'm doing is to support something much greater than me, much greater than K-pop. But it's just crazy to see how K-pop has tied into this, and how Hybe has been tied into this, and how fans have reacted to this. I thought about this as well because 17 recently spoke at UNICEF because they were made like youth ambassadors, and they didn't mention anything about the Palestine situation. People always say like idols aren't political figures, but when idols take titles such as being ambassadors for UNICEF, speaking at the UN, going to the White House and meeting the presidents, or talking on things like Asian hate, that's when you see these idols putting their feet into the political stances. Like, if you're able to do things like that, then yes, now you need to be looked at to speak about important issues, because once you do it one time, and now it creates a standard. Like, I'm going to expect you to speak out about things and speak out about social awareness because you're an ambassador for UNICEF. Why wouldn't an ambassador for UNICEF say, oh, kids are being murdered, babies are being killed, families are being wiped out, this is wrong? Or at least put out a donation link so people could get food into the country because they're struggling there's a famine, they're not getting any food, they're starving to death there. People are like, you expect so much from K-pop idols. Yeah, I do, because they're humans just like us. I expect a lot from humanity in this moment, and I want them to like stand up for something and to care about this issue. Like I said, again, you're partnering with UNICEF, you're speaking at the UN, you're going to the White House. So yeah, I'm sorry if I expect you to speak up on social topics that impact the world when you want to be ambassadors to it. Don't take a title that you can't uphold. Don't take a title just to have it as a namesake. If you're going to take on a title, you need to own that title and work for it. You need to earn that title. Everyone thinks it's so nice, oh, I stand the right people, but do you? At the end of the day, like, this has exposed a lot of people for their beliefs, and like exposed hybe. Honestly, hybe has been going downhill for a long time. They've been showing their colors for a really long time, but this is probably like the loudest indicator that hybe is just like a very money hungry capitalistic company that doesn't truly care about the things it used to. I'm gonna wrap up there, guys. I'm gonna wrap up there and leave you guys with that. That's my take on this situation. Just overall, very disappointing. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about the hybe boycott. Yeah, and that's it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next video, which will hopefully be a little more lighthearted. But this is something I had to get off my chest. Thank you for watching. As always, you know I love you guys. Bye.